Across the borders, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation says it was committing 7 billion shillings to African countries over the next 4 years, even as Bill Gates warned that the Ukraine crisis was reducing the amount of aid flowing to the continent. The foundation's pledge, which is up to 40% on the amount spent during the previous 4 years, will target projects tackling hunger, disease, poverty and gender inequality. Here now are the details for this and other stories making headlines across Africa.
Nigeria, which is Africa's most populous country, will take the biggest share of the $7 billion. Humanitarian groups in Africa are grappling with the diversion of funding away towards Ukraine, and as Russia's invasion increases goods prices globally, impacting aid operations. Drought compounded by conflict and the COVID-19 pandemic has pushed more than 10 million people in Africa to the very brink of a hunger crisis. The United Nations says it expects famine to be declared in parts of Somalia this year. The foundation in 2021 gave charitable support of $6.7 billion and last week pledged $1.4 billion to help the world's smallholder farmers cope with the climate change. Meanwhile, Tunisia is seeking international partners for investment projects worth $3.2 billion. Said also signed a $200 million financing agreement with France that will help support the North African country's budget. Leaders of French-speaking countries gathered on a Tunisian island to discuss debt relief, migration, food and energy shortages amid a soaring cost of living crisis across Africa, Europe and the Middle East due to Russia's war on Ukraine. Finally, South African retail sales fell 0.6% year-on-year in September, after rising by a revised 2.1% in August. Statistics South Africa figures show that on a month-on-month basis, sales were up 0.1%. The statistics agency says sales in the 3 months to the end of September were up 3.3% compared with the same period last year.